Hello guys, welcome back. Now today I'm going to be talking about the Dallas Stars management ripping into Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn. Now Stars CEO Jim Lights publicly roasted Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn. So it begs the question, are the criticisms deserved on their part, and how will this drama affect Dallas going into the future? Now this whole crazy situation started where Sean Shapiro of The Athletic interviewed Stars CEO Jim Lights about the team's current situation and how he feels about it. And in this interview, Lights really went hard on Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn's performance this season, and to put it in a PG way, he said that it was freaking horse crap. And to make things just a little bit worse, he also goes on to say that the owner of the Dallas Stars, Tom Gagliardi, ended up saying that he was pissed as well. So when it comes to the management, of the Dallas Stars, they're obviously not happy right now, especially with their two best players. Now, there was a couple of juicy quotes. The first one I'll read is from Jim Lights. He says that we are a Stars-driven league, and our Stars aren't getting it done. It's embarrassing, and no one writes it. Write it. Well, Jim, after this whole article and after this whole drama, a lot of people ended up writing about it, so I guess you got your wish in a way. Now, he also goes on to say a little bit more, and he also says, but for me, it's pissed me off. What nobody says is what is completely obvious to me. We are getting terrible play from our top two players. Now, Jim, I know you can have an opinion on that, and I know you can have an opinion on your top two players, but that's just untrue. In a way, Lights is right here. Benn and Seguin have not had the best season collectively. They've regressed quite a bit offensively, but when you call them terrible performances, when they're arguably still the best two players on the team, it kind of just baffles me why Lights would go after guys like that and not the depth scoring that has obviously not been as good. And yes, I will definitely agree that their seasons have not been up to the caliber that we expect from both of them. But to call their play terrible and to call their performance this season terrible is just ignorant and stupid on just way too many levels. We'll start with Tyler Seguin, who I think deserves less of the blame than Jamie Benn. So far this season, he hasn't had a bad stat line. He's been playing pretty well, I feel. And while he's not playing up to the contract quite yet right now, he is still playing pretty solidly. He's still playing like a first-line center, at least to me. But what really gets me is that he calls their play terrible. Seguin hasn't been terrible. He's been far from terrible. He's just been so unlucky. I bet if there was a stat to measure how many posts a player has a shot at, I would say Tyler Seguin would be at least top 5. He's been so unlucky this season, and especially with the shots and the opportunities that he gets, it seems like it's getting rotten luck after rotten luck every single time, and that's something as a player you can fight over, but it's something that you can't really control. And while I can definitely see how Lights could see that Tyler Seguin isn't performing up to his caliber that he has before, I would say that this is a down year for Tyler Seguin, but it's still not a terrible year from Tyler Seguin. To say that they're terrible years and to say that the performance has been terrible from them is just dumb, because it really hasn't been. He's been pretty much average for his career right now. It's just that he's getting so unlucky, and it's kind of crazy that he hasn't seen that already. Now, on to Jamie Benn, who, if you're going to make a message like this, I think it fits more towards Jamie Benn right now. Now, of course, Jamie Benn is the captain of the Dallas Stars. That is most notably his ranking right now. But with Jamie Benn, yes, he has not had a great year this year, but I think he deserves more of the blame than Tyler Seguin here, even if they both don't deserve to be called out like this. Jamie Benn's performance this year has been kind of weird, in all honesty. He has played okay to this point. He's played fine, but I agree with Lights in this case in saying that he could be much better and that he hasn't fulfilled his potential yet this season. With Jamie Benn, he's starting to get up there in age just a little bit. I think he's still in his 20s, but even then, we expect more from a guy like Jamie Benn. So far this season, he hasn't been like a Tyler Seguin where he's still playing great but getting unlucky. With Jamie Benn, he's been a little bit more slower. He hasn't had a lot of that finish. He's put in these situations to not really succeed at all, and he's barely shooting anymore. So when it comes to Jamie Benn, we know he has skill, we know he has superstar talent, but he hasn't really been showing that this season, and he hasn't really made an effort to show that this season. And with Benn, I can definitely see how people might call him lazy this season. He hasn't been as energetic as he might be in later seasons or in years past. With Jamie Benn, he's still playing fine, but I wouldn't say he's playing up to the caliber that he can play at. So if there was one player that you would criticize, I would think that Jamie Benn would be a guy to criticize. But even then, coming from the Stars CEO, that's not something you want to hear, and especially publicly. Of course they're saying it in their locker rooms, and of course they're saying it to each other, but to say it publicly in an interview is something that is a big no-no. I can get calling Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin's performance terrible, but when you say it in that tone, when you say it, again, in PG words, freaking horse crap, publicly in an interview, it doesn't really shine a great light on the Dallas Stars, and especially the management, especially Jim Lites, and this isn't a good look for the Dallas Stars either. While Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin has not performed to their expectations so far, saying this publicly and saying this now when the Dallas Stars are still fighting for that playoff spot, it's not going to go over well, and I can only see this blowing in their faces. And I think for Jim Lites, he is especially lucky that Tyler Seguin is already signed. He was supposed to be a UFA after this season. Of course, the Dallas Stars got him signed earlier or really late into the offseason. Jim Lites is very lucky that Tyler Seguin is already signed, because while maybe those two guys maybe don't take it personally as much, still, for upcoming free agents as well, it's not going to shine a good light on the franchise if you're just calling your best players really horse crap. It's not going to do too well, and for free agents, while the money is the biggest factor, you want to have decent, stable ownership, and Jim Lites obviously has gone a little bit overboard with this. And this whole situation, this whole drama could have been avoided if Lites just shut his mouth and kept quiet. But no, he had to speak out loud, he had to speak his mind, and here we are. Both Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn being publicly ripped by the CEO, and that just doesn't sit right with me, especially with free agents in the future, and just with the morale of the locker room. I can't see it doing too much good unless Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn take it personally and light a fire under themselves, but in order to do that, you'd have to really go against Jim Lites and his words. So it doesn't really spark any kind of good, positive influence on the Dallas Stars locker room, and I can't see this going good for the Dallas Stars in any way. The Dallas Stars are already too average to begin with, but making this move and saying this out loud will only do worse for the Dallas Stars, will only make the situation worse for the team in general, and I just don't see this having a positive influence on the team at all, and especially Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn. What are they supposed to do? Getting called out by their CEO, even though guys like Tyler Seguin are still trying their best, I believe. While it might make them better, I don't see this working out in the long term at all. And I know Jim Lites thinks this will motivate the team, motivate Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin to do better, but calling them crap, having that from your own management, and having the owner and the CEO do that, it doesn't really paint a good light. And for Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, what are they supposed to do? They're already trying their best most of the time. Maybe not Jamie Benn, but especially Tyler Seguin. But I just don't see this working out for them. I don't see it working out for Jim Lites. I don't see it working out for Tom Gagliardi. I don't see it working out for the two players that were called out here. And I just don't see it being a win situation for the Dallas Stars whatsoever. And heck, if you're going to place the blame on someone, place the blame on your own GM, Jim Nill, who has seemingly not fixed any of the problems with the team whatsoever in the last couple of years. Again, this year, while there have been some injuries, the depth scoring has been an issue for the past, 3 years now, and it has still not gotten fixed at all. And I know Jim Nill thinks that some of these players will develop and they'll play well, but a lot of the guys have not, and they have not proven themselves really. Guys like Tyler Pitlick, who have been good in years past, have now seemingly gone down. Martin Hanzal, who signed to that big contract, is still not performing. They got some injuries there, but really when it comes down to it, there's no excuses for the problems that are still there, and Jim Nill has to be held accountable. And I personally do like Jim Nill most of the time, but when the CEO is calling out Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn because of the depth scoring issues, it just doesn't add up. And while Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn, yes, they can be better, there's obvious issues with the team that have not been fixed over the past 3 years, and this year could be another year where they miss the playoffs, which will make 3 straight years of missing the playoffs after the team went on that fantastic 100 or something run back in 2016. It just will not work out for them. And with this, with the team, they're in a playoff race technically. They're trying to get in there, but this situation will boil over. And even if they make the playoffs, it'll still be a huge story throughout the whole thing. But to me, also, the timing of this whole situation just kind of baffles me because the team just won 2-0 against the Nashville Predators, and I didn't see too much from Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin in that game, but nonetheless, you could have done this when they lost 5 straight games a couple of weeks ago, but no, you do it after you win versus Nashville. It kind of just baffles me, the timing of this interview and the timing of what Jim Wylie is saying. And yes, still, overall, Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn have not been as good as they should be. It kind of just worries me that he picked now when the team just won against a team like Nashville to make these comments. Well, this team is going to be very interesting to watch in the next couple of weeks. Again, right now they're in a playoff race. They're trying to make the playoffs. And especially the spotlight on Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn is going to be amplified with this huge news story. And even with that, this team, they're in a playoffs race. They're going to try and get it done. And of course, the spotlight on Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin will be even bigger to get points and to actually get it done, unlike they've done before. But hey, the Dallas Stars are playing the Detroit Red Wings later today, so if there's any team to maybe beat up upon offensively, that's a team that the Dallas Stars should take advantage of. And with this whole situation, I feel like this Detroit game could really make or break the whole locker room chemistry. If they lose versus Detroit, which very well could happen with this whole drama, it could really get even worse. But a win, and of course Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn maybe getting a couple of points or playing well, that could be huge for the team itself and can maybe spark some attitude and could spark actual motivation and momentum. But obviously, Jim Wylie's wish was the Dallas Stars, Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin to get in the spotlight, and hey, that wish certainly did come true, whether it's good or not. But with this whole drama and this whole situation, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments down below. So let me know your thoughts on this whole situation. Do you think the criticism on Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin is deserved? What do you think about Jim Wylie's publicly going out like this? And of course, the whole situation in general. But if you guys want some more Grav videos, you can watch this video where I talk about the newly revealed NHL All-Star captains. But that is going for you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and of course comment down below your thoughts on this whole Dallas Stars, Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin situation. And I'll see you guys next video or stream. Goodbye.